Hey, it's TCG and Me. I value your time, so let's get to it. Is this the genesis of a new TCG game? Hey, so I'm out here for a walk, and I just wanted to talk about the Genesis Kickstarter. I just backed it at 3 boxes. Fortunately, I can't do the content creator thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Uh, I think that it's really interesting. We have a world where there's already a lot of TCGs in the space, so you really have to come and bring something new and interesting. And I think a lot of people don't know about Genesis because it's flooded with your fleshes and your bloods and your Pokemans and your metaphorical zoos, and I think that it's really something that's worth taking a look at. Um, at the very least, one of the things that I really like about it is that it's affordable. I think Assad, the CEO of the small game company that makes it, said that the average kind of competitive deck that happened that was at their tournament cost $140, which he called very expensive. Uh, and if you've played other TCGs, you know how the relativity is a factor there. And $100 worth of that deck was one single card, which was only in, I think, the original, whatever the first set was that was released, and he is going to be reprinting it in all of the Kickstarter boxes. He has no problem with making the game affordable, all the game pieces that you need to actually play the game. Um, but at the same time, the Kickstarter boxes are going to have box toppers that have special signed cards or just like these little collector pieces that you get, one pack per box. I think has three collectors cards in it, alternate art, stuff like that. So there's definitely a collector side to it. Oh, and the foils. The foils are a lot rarer. It's a lot more exciting to pull out a foil. Um, than other games are, especially if you're buying, Magic the Gathering booster boxes, collector's editions that are just chock full of foils. Like, what is a foil anymore? Oh, hold on 1 second. All right, this little monster is giving me some trouble. So, one of the things that I was kind of skeptical of, because I've seen Genesis before this point, one of the things that I was really skeptical about was why. I mean, I mentioned at the top of the video, there's a lot of other games around. Why Genesis? Why should I care? It's probably, I mean, there's a lot of Kickstarters I've seen that are just games that I do not think will succeed. They may succeed, but I don't think that they'll have significant backing, I guess, significant player base. I won't be able to go down just in my local LGS and kind of, be able to pick up a game there. Um, there'll be more, I guess, specialty TCGs, and that's fine. They're good. They have their own measure of success, but that's not what I'm looking for. But I think that the really interesting thing about Genesis, on top of obviously the gameplay is what kind of drives it, is the bedrock of it. But the game's been around for 3-4 years, something like that. Which, in the internet age is it's forever. I think there's people playing TCGs who were born who didn't even know there wasn't a Genesis, and it's it's kind of proven that it's viable, which is okay. That's good. It has a following. That's kind of step one. But the Kickstarter doesn't exist to make the project possible. It's already possible. The Kickstarter exists to make the project big, which is something that is going to be really valuable and could potentially make it something, again, that you'd be able to just kind of pick up in your local game store, which I appreciate. And Assad really seems to understand the business of it. I mean, when you're looking at a new TCG, you don't look just at the game itself. I mean, that's important, but you really need to know who's driving that ship. And Assad seems like he has a really good idea of balancing players and collectors and local game stores, and that's something that Flesh and Blood has been really good at, although kind of maligned lately. Something that MetaZoo, again, has had a reasonable handle on. But Magic has fallen off. They kind of don't really care that much about LGSs anymore. I don't even know what's going on with Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, but apparently they're doing well. But I think Assad kind of, from what I've seen, and it's really easy to say this with a new product, I guess, but a new IP, but he seems to really understand the synthesis of all those things. So I have a lot of high hopes, I guess, is just what what I want to say about that. Um, and I think I haven't even really said much of anything about it yet. I may have alluded to it, but I think the gameplay is really interesting and kind of fills a different space than a lot of the other games too. So your Flesh and Blood is like I would say top tier gameplay. Flesh and Blood is going to be my OTP is going to be Flesh and Blood, and Mezu is kind of garbage at gameplay. Well, I mean, it's okay. It's not bad. Pokemon isn't exactly stellar gameplay either, but it is beloved for different reasons. I got to make a MetaZoo video. I actually have one of those planned coming up. So if you're wondering what MetaZoo is, another video. Uh, but Genesis has a very tactical gameplay element to it, which is interesting. It kind of hits more of the Warhammer itch than it does the Magic one, and I find that really interesting. So yeah, I think it has its own niche. It has a strong head on its shoulders, and I think that it's not quite there yet, but it has a lot of promise to be, and it would surprise me if it weren't. So I think now is probably a really good time to get up on Genesis. So I'll probably sprinkle some cards around, some links around the video so you guys can check it out, and obviously stuff in the description. But yeah, let me know if you've heard of Genesis. Let me know what you think about it. And it's so hard to see her when she's black on black. Let me know what you think about Genesis, what your thoughts are about that, and tell me why you are, if you're backing it, if you're not backing it. I'm just curious to hear kind of different perspectives on that. So anyway, be kind, rewind, and don't forget to spay and neuter your pets. See you next time.